All right, 2.6.25, Algebra 2 Math Excel. Use the value of the discriminant. Okay, so let's look for the discriminant here in this problem. That's a to 4, right there. B is this 5 in front of the z, the coefficient on the linear term, they call that, because linear has just a plain variable, no squared on it. And then the constant term, the plain number on the end. And the discriminant, if you remember from the previous videos, that's what's under the square root in the quadratic formula, b squared minus 4ac. So in our case, we've got b of 5 minus 4. I'll write this all out this time. A lot of times I'm going to do some of this in my head, and hopefully everybody's following that. So in this case, I'm going to go this way. 20 times this 4 would be 80. 25 minus 80, that's a negative number, right? So if you have a negative number, that means that you're under the square root, there's a negative number. That's where the discriminant comes from in the quadratic formula. So therefore, it's either down here, up here, something like that. Whoops, not that way, that one would have crossed. But something like one of those sort of, but it's never going to cross the x-intercept, which that means under the square root, you're going to end up with a plus or a minus a square root of a negative number. So you're going to have two irrational, two complex solutions. Remember, complex has a real part and an imaginary part. Since we have that negative square root, there's going to be imaginary in there for this problem. So 2.6.25 under a square root in the quadratic formula, if you have a negative, those are complex, real and imaginary parts of the solutions, and that they are not real. Well, that's because they're imaginary. So hopefully that helps you out on that one a little bit.